As we continue to explore the ability to manifest anything that you want using various tools, we're going to conclude this introduction to how to use sacred sexual energy to manifest the things that you want and also the things that your partner wants. Now, as we conclude this, we're going to talk about exactly how to manifest the things that you want through this divine act, okay? And how exactly through every process of encounter and exchange with a partner can be used to actually materialize the things that you both desire to create together, all right? So first, what I want to start out with sacred intimacy. Now, sacred intimacy can be better defined as being in a space where you are constantly exchanging love, affection, appreciation, gratitude, understanding, communication, basically looking to increase the intensity of the bond between you and your partner. That also looks like exploring different ways that your partner receives and gives love, right? And also you explaining how you receive and give love, and making sure that as you communicate with one another as to what love looks like, how it feels, how you wish to express it, how you wish to receive it, you both come to a very clear understanding. And with that understanding comes the execution of actually doing it, right? Actually expressing it, understanding that it is creating a better connection, a better bond between you and your partner. So this sacred intimacy happens whenever, right, you are thinking of one another, whenever you are together with one another with a simple touch, a simple gesture of letting each other know how you feel about each other, letting each other know how much you respect and love and admire each other, right? Letting each other know what's beautiful about who they are, right? Letting them know that you are there to be a true representation, right? Communicating that you truly accept them for who they are. And this is creating a safe environment and an environment of love and connection. So as you go through your relationships, remember that there is always this opportunity, and you could never do it enough. You can never practice this sacred intimacy enough. In fact, you should always seek to express yourself with your partner in this way in every moment possible. Now, as we get into leaving the simple acts of being with each other and communicating with each other on a somewhat of a non-sexual way, we're going to get more into the sexual act, right? Whereas intimacy, though it can be sexual, right? Intimacy is something that can be practiced out in public. It can be practiced with your parents around. It's something that is always safe to exchange and express with one another. But now as we go deeper into the sexual act, that is where we have to gear ourselves for the privacy of actually being alone with one another and communicating ourselves or communicating our love in a very physical, spiritual, sexual way. So when you are leaving or you are practicing sexual or sacred intimacy, you are essentially creating the bond. You are tightening and strengthening that bond between you and your partner. And then it leads into the sexual act, which then you are going to generate the energy, create the connection, and then also connect and align yourself with the universe and what it is that you wish to create in the universe. Okay. So we leave from the intimacy, right? The sacred intimacy to now what I call the sacred buildup, which can also be related to or called foreplay, right? But in this sacred buildup, what you are doing is you are building up the energy, you're building up the vibration, right? The charge, right? You are getting in the mood, so to speak, to engage with one another on a sexual level. And as you are doing so, though it has a feeling of being something physical, you want to be mindful to keep it also spiritual, right? Keep it also in a space where emotions are deeply tied to it, where vulnerability is deeply tied to it. executing and feeling safe, right? And creating that safety for your partner is deeply tied to it as well. And now you are creating this environment to generate the energy between the masculine and the feminine that is both you and your partner, and also within you as individuals, to then generate this energy of creation, generate this energy to then put your intentions together toward materializing the thing. And of course, with the sexual buildup or the sacred buildup, you are engaging more in physical touch. You are engaging more with eye contact, maybe even speech, right? You are more sensual in nature, right? And you are also alone in a private space where you are not distracted by anything else, right? Even your own thoughts. Remember that this is about being in the present moment with your partner and with your intention, with the thing that you have decided to create together. And as you continue to be sensual with one another, you are generating more and more and more energy. And then after the sensual sacred buildup, you are now going into the sacred act of intercourse. And that's where you actually become one, right? That's when the union happens. And then you bring the energies that you have generated essentially separate, right? Because you are you and they are they, but you are engaging in the act of touch and communicating love, right? In a physical and a spiritual way. But now you are actually intertwined and you are engaging in intercourse, and you are actually becoming one unit, and you are aligning yourselves with each other. You are aligning yourselves with the thing that you desire, the things that you have decided to create as a single unit. And this is where the pleasure, right? This is where the excitement, this is where the love, the understanding as to how powerful you are as a unit and how much more you can create together than apart. And so you will engage in this sacred intercourse for as long as you wish, right? And remember that there is no pressure, there is no expectation, there is no goal to be had here. It's just simply a matter of generating that energy, which will happen naturally, right? When you understand each other, when you know what each other's likes are, which you know what each other's passions are, even each other's kinks, right? You are engaging with one another. You are, really allowing each other to be at a space of pleasure, not just physical, but spiritual, mental, and even emotional. And then as you come together, you are continuing to bathe, right, in that essence. You're continuing to bathe in that connection, in that energy that you have generated. And you are, remember, aligning yourself with each other and aligning together as a group with the thing that you intend to create. And then once you come to being ready to conclude your sacred intercourse, you come to what I call the sacred release, where you release the energy out into the universe. And at this point, you have concluded the intercourse and you are still having this vibrational energy. Oftentimes you feel a sense of your body vibrating. You feel your mind vibrating, right? You feel your spirit at ease, and you feel a sense of peace and calmness. And you have released that energy, but also that intention out into the universe. And this is where, some people say co-creation, but I simply say this is where we create, because our consciousness is in charge of what happens here from now on, right? Our consciousness creates reality. And so now together, as you do this activity and you do this practice, you are then ending the session, the sacred moment, and concluding it with this sacred release of energy and intention into the universe to then come back and materialize the things that you have decided to create to the both of you. Okay? And this is a constant practice. You are constantly in a space where you are practicing sacred intimacy, the sacred buildup, right? Sacred intercourse, and finally, sacred release, all geared towards coming to a true understanding as to who you are, coming into a true understanding and building the bond and connection between you and your partner, and thus actually using that energy of yourself within yourself, the connection with your partner, to then generate and create, materialize, manifest the thing that you have decided to create. Thank you so much for joining me. Continue to join me on this journey. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, get a free download of my ebook, The Power Within, and also subscribe to my daily newsletter. My name is Peter Abundant, and I teach spiritually conscious individuals how to create fulfillment with advanced manifestation education. Thank you again. Peace and abundance always.